Welcome to Canadian Innovators, the show that celebrates innovation, entrepreneurs, and the Canadian spirit. I'm Jocelyn Bamford, and every week we introduce a new entrepreneur or expert on the economy to tell their stories and unpack the challenges of keeping jobs in Canada, as well as to discuss potential solutions for job growth and prosperity. After more than 2 years of some of the longest and harshest lockdowns in North America, Ontario has finally opened up. The mask mandate has been lifted, but the COVID hangover still lingers. Many people are afraid to travel, and many do not want to part with their masks after 2+ years of mask mandates. All of this has had a terrible toll on the psychological outlook of many Ontarios, as well as a devastating impact on the economy. Joining me to discuss is Mayor of Niagara Falls, Jim Diodati, and Editor-in-Chief of the Toronto Sun, Adrienne Batra. Welcome to the program, folks.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Adrienne, I'm going to start with you. Let's discuss the COVID hangover. What are you seeing out there? And I'm not seeing this as something that a couple of aspirins is going to cure.
Or a couple of bottles of wine won't cure either. Well, I think that this is going to be a long hangover. We may physically see, some people have decided that they're not going to wear their masks anymore. We've seen the businesses are opening up. People are traveling, maybe not in the droves that they used to, but certainly the volume is increasing. So we see things physically going on around us that demonstrate we are getting out of this. The vaccinations have worked. They've helped the booster shots continue to get put in people's arms. And there's always going to be the necessity to keep up with those. But where we don't have a good handle on what the long-term impact of the lockdowns and the pandemic are those sort of silent issues. The thousands upon thousands of canceled surgeries, what impact this is going to have on children, some of which have grown up in the pandemic and know nothing other than wearing masks and isolating and distancing and having that awkward sort of social interaction. That's what they've only thing that they've learned. And let alone the financial impact, the eye-watering spending that took place over the last 2+ years. I don't think that we have quite the appreciation for just how much that is and the long-term impact of that. So I know there's a lot to unpack there, but those are the big things that I see as where we stand right now.
So let's bring in the mayor, Mayor Jim Diodati. I know businesses in Niagara, from the tourist attractions to the wineries, have been suffering. Could you give us a state of the nation of Niagara right now?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, Jocelyn. And I think Adrienne is bang on. We're all being affected by this, and now it's kind of the boomerang effect, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen. But what we do know is Niagara Falls is the #1 leisure destination in Canada. And typically we get 14 million people here every year, and 40,000 people count on tourism in Niagara to feed their families. So when people ask if tourism is important, I tell them it's right up there with oxygen. It's essential. People have mortgages and rent and car payments and a lot of important things to save for and to pay. They need tourism to work. So we need everybody rowing the boat together. And we all understand we had to do everything in a safe way. We encouraged everyone to get their vaccines, to follow provincial protocols. As a matter of fact, in Niagara Falls, we went above and beyond. We brought in epidemiologists in the tourism sector, and we created safetoplay.ca and safetostay.ca, where we made people feel safe. And I can tell you, although we do get the lion's share of tourists, we never spiked above average of any other area. We were always in the mix because we understood, what did he say? Brush the teeth you want to keep. We wanted to make sure the tourism teeth were nice and clean.
Well, and that's great. You've done a great job of that. Now, Adrienne, we just got about a minute left. How do we get out of this COVID hangover? People are clinging to their masks. They're afraid to venture out because, unlike other jurisdictions where they imposed restriction and then went back to normal, we've been in a steady state of this for 2 years. Very different from the United States, where there are few restrictions at all. So, Adrienne, how do we get out of this? What's the path forward in about 30 seconds?
I think we need to stop scaring the public. I think that there needs to be the TV doctors and all of those people that have been have gained notoriety over the last couple of years. Stop scaring the public. We've done everything that we've been asked to. We locked down, we isolated, we vaccinated. We need to move on, and we need to live with this and move forward. Those voices that are saying that need to be louder and more and pronounced further, versus this fear that we are, going into the sixth wave and we need to take extreme reaction again.